Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? AZD here with you with this video, and I want to talk about the cost of living along with the inflation. But not only that, I want to talk about also how Social Security, the new Social Security measures that went into place, they were supposed to get an increase, but right now the cost of living increase for Social Security benefits and Social Security income is not what they expected it. It was supposed to be at a certain amount in points, a certain amount of average increase in the monthly take-home Social Security, but right now it's not seeming like it's happening that way, and that's because of how inflation is going. They was expecting it to be a rate cut where we probably would see some prices drop, but there's no rate cut will be happening anytime soon. So right now the Social Security COLA increase slammed as new estimate released. And I'm getting this information from Newsweek. So if you want to go over to Newsweek and check it out, the article is by Susan Blake from Newsweek. So shout out to Susan Blake from Newsweek. So I'm going to get into this article a little bit and give my little opinions about what's going on. So let's get into this article. Once again, this article is from Newsweek, and shout out to Susan Blake for doing this article. So a new cost of living COLA prediction for Social Security has many seniors scratching their heads at how they'll stretch their benefits amid inflation. So yes, they got an increase, but at the same time, the benefit increase is less than, I believe, inflation. So Senior Citizen League, TSCL, Senior Citizen League, TSCL, just predicted that the COLA for 2025, not even for 2024, but for next year COLA, saying beneficiaries can expect a 2.66% bump in their benefits. Earlier in the year, the estimate was set at 2.6 and 2.4%. Not really a lot, because we got to remember what inflation is at, 3 something, almost 4, back and forth. So that's less than inflation with that bump. So the cost of living, yes, you got a bump for Social Security benefits, but at the same time, that cost of living bump is not that much where the inflation, where it will offset the inflation. So let's get more into the story. If a 2.66 boost is implemented, it will likely increase monthly payments by around $50 for most recipients. And that's what they was talking about a year ago. So I actually thought that it would have been more than that, but it's about the same amount that they were talking about maybe about a year ago. So while the jump in monthly benefits would be better than the earlier prediction, many senior citizens are expecting a higher boost to deal with the impact of inflation, which makes sense. And as you can see, your Social Security, if you work in a 9 to 5, if you doing 1099 or whatever you're doing, your taxes for Social Security is a little bit more than a few years ago, especially like before the pandemic. So the Social Security Administration adjusts Social Security payments among every year based on Consumer Price Index, CPI. CPI report came out about 2 days ago. Look out for my video on the CPI report coming out soon. So the Social Security Administration did adjust it for Consumer Price Index based on the Consumer Price Index report. But remember, Consumer Price Index report, you have the core index, and then you have the other stuff that's left out, like food, gas, etc., that people really spend money on. So while COLA payment will increase to offset the effects of inflation, the problem many have with the potential percentage jump is it won't get far enough to meet most of the financial needs of seniors, said Alex Bina, a financial literacy instructor at the University of Tennessee at Martin, told Newsweek. Obviously, daily expenses for this age group continues to rise, which makes sense, especially with like medical expenses, got the pharmacy expenses, the medication expenses, just a wide variety of expenses, which will be going up for senior citizens. So obviously, the daily expenses for this age group continues to rise, but the uptick in healthcare costs, what we just talked about, putting on additional strains on them, and COLA payments may not be enough to match the uptick. Seniors will also likely be dealing with a higher Medicare Part premium, according to TSL. In the Medicare Trustee report from this month, Part B premiums were predicted to grow by $10.30 a month to a total of $185. $185 a month. Wow, for Medicare. That increase is on top of the nationwide inflation on groceries, housing, transportation. So not even just transportation, you got Medicare, got to worry about. You got to worry about prescriptions, all the different things that is facing, especially the seniors with Social Security benefits. So for 2024, the average Social Security benefits rose by $50, and after subtracting $9.80 to cover Medicare Part B premiums increases, the total change in benefits came out to just about $40.20 a month. Wow, so they thought they saw a bump, but at the same time, the increase in prices is not really giving a bump. With the forecast of a 2.66% COLA for 2025, it appears seniors will continue to suffer financially insecurity as much next year as they have this year, said Shannon Benton, executive director of the TSCL, said in a statement. Man, this is going to be a lot of stuff going on the next year. So the COLA for each year depending on the rise of the consumer price index, CPI, for urban wages, earners, and clerical workers. CPI, take away W, for the third quarter of the last year. Clerical workers, CPI. So let's see what else this report is saying. So many finance experts have questioned whether the CPI-W even stand a good measure of what seniors can expect inflation-wise, with many saying that the consumer price index for elderly, EPIE, so they saying like it's two different CPI for W, like regular workers, CPI for clerical workers, CPI for senior citizens, CPI for the elderly. So in 2024, Social Security checks rose by 3.2% due to the COLA after more generous increase of 8.7% from last year. That's good, but they still not seeing it. Many seniors, roughly 71% reportedly in TSCL 2024 senior survey, that the increase in household costs they saw went beyond the 3.2% jump from COLA. It just basically like kind of average out in a way, if you really think about it that way. The majority of seniors still feel like their costs are rising faster than those annual adjustment, which makes sense. Michael Ryan, a financial expert and founder CEO of MichaelRyanMoney.com, told Newsweek. So while the COLA certainly help, it often still doesn't fully cover the real inflation draining seniors' buying power. And it's kind of true for everybody, not even just the elderly, not even for just senior citizens, but for middle class, for lower income people, and so on. So due to the insufficient funds from Social Security for seniors, many will need additional income streams, including 401k, IRA, and the investment accounts. And I read an article saying that a lot of retirees, senior citizens, are even getting into their investments in their IRA, their retirement account, earlier than that they was expected. Some was banking on having Social Security cover most of the costs where they wouldn't have to go into their IRAs or their retirement account that much. So at the end of the day, any COLA increase is better than none, of course, but it prevents total Social Security stagnation, Ryan said. But the 2.6 projection for 2025, oh my gosh, underscores 2.5%, but then we got inflation like at 3.5, 3.7. The 2.6% projection for 2025 underscores the need for policymakers to re-examine whether metrics like CPIE would better serve seniors by more accurately reflecting their unique spending habits. We just want to make sure government benefits retain as much purchasing power over the time as possible with those fixed income. Definitely make more sense. So if you want to read more about this, you can definitely go check it out at Newsweek. The name of the author was Susan Blake. Susan Blake made the Social Security COLA increase slammed as new estimates released. So going over to Newsweek, check that article out. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this article. Also, hit a like for the video and subscribe to the channel. Be doing some more on inflation, some more video on Social Security benefits, some more video just on a wide variety, finance and the economy, and different ways of how we can offset the inflation and create more extra cash flow. So once again, it's AZD. Hope you got some value out of this video. I'll talk to you later. Peace.